welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, Holmes Honda here in Shreveport, Louisiana has loaned me this 2020 Honda Passport. This happens to be the touring version of the Passport, and of course there are multiple trim levels available depending on what your needs and or budget may be. If you happen to live in or around the Northwest Louisiana area, Shreveport, Bossier, make sure to come visit Holmes Honda if you are looking for any Honda vehicle, and tell them if you come in and buy a vehicle that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you. As far as the Passport goes, we're going to talk about what options are available, what you can expect, horsepower, all that good stuff. And as far as the Passport is concerned, it is one of the best options out there as far as a large two-row SUV is concerned. Let's take a look at what's under the hood to begin our tour. Under the hood of the 2020 Passport, you will find a 3.5-liter V6 that puts out 280 horsepower and 262 foot-pounds of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. The fuel mileage is 20 miles per gallon in the city and 25 out on the highway. Now, for a rather large SUV that's not exactly super light, I have to say the 0 to 60 is not too bad at 6.4 seconds. While the Passport is not only stylish on the exterior, but on the interior as well, and we're going to take a closer look at that in just a minute. It's also loaded with standard driver assist features, and there's quite a list of those features. I'll put them on the screen for you right now. Included in that list is adaptive cruise control and automatic emergency braking. And moving on to the rear liftgate of the Passport, you have a fully automatic liftgate, and there are 4 different options to open the liftgate. There is a button on the interior just on the inside of the driver's side door, right there with the button to open the gas door as well. You also have a button located just on the bottom of the liftgate itself. You can use the remote, and you can also use the sensor on the bumper. Now let me show you a little interesting trick about that. There are instructions located on the liftgate itself back here that will tell you how to open the liftgate. One of the main keys to that is being patient. A quick little kick, not too hard of a kick, but a quick little kick to the rear bumper, and simply stepping back and waiting will allow the liftgate to open. Because I've seen a lot of people, and I've done it myself on other models of vehicles not knowing any better, will touch the bumper, they'll kick the bumper, whatever you're supposed to do, and if it doesn't happen within half a second or so, you do the process again, and that's where a lot of the time we get in trouble with these things. Do it one time, whether you sweep your foot under the bumper or in this case, give it a light tap with your foot, probably the best way to put it, and then step back. You will see the liftgate begin to open. You can also close it with all of those features I just mentioned as well. And once you have the rear liftgate open on the Passport, you're going to find out there is a large amount of storage space. And if the storage back here behind the rear seats and under the floor, there is a hidden compartment underneath the floor right here that you can use as well. If that isn't enough, there are buttons located on each side of the exterior back here in the rear of the Passport that allow you to lower your rear seats to increase your cargo space that much more. Just push the buttons, the seats will go down. Now, it doesn't automatically raise them back up. You'll have to do that manually, but not a big deal. I do like the fact that there is a large amount of storage space back here depending on what you want to do, and you can configure that a couple of different ways. You do have a 60-40 split rear seat here, so depending on what you're wanting to haul around, it's possible to have a couple of passengers and something extra back here that maybe needs to lower the rear seats to fit, and you can do that on either side, whether it's the 60 or the 40 split, and increase your space accordingly. And before we move on, there is one more thing I would like to show you. If you're not aware of it, on the Passport, there is a button located right here on the liftgate itself that you can use as an addition to the other options to close the liftgate. You're just going to push the button right here, and it's going to automatically lower. And here in the rear of the Passport, you'll find a rather roomy rear seat. It's comfortable. The Passengers are going to have a lot of space back here, a reasonable amount of leg room, and of course, as you can see on your screen right now, the passenger seat is back a little bit, so it probably looks like I have less leg room than I potentially could, but that can be remedied very easily. You have cup holders and an armrest right here in the center, as well as dual air conditioning vents back here for your rear seat passengers. They can control the fan speed, and the seats are heated back here as well, and the controls for those are located just beneath the air conditioning vents as well. You will also find a power outlet and 2 USB ports just beneath the controls for the air conditioner. And depending on which trim level of the Passport you choose to purchase, there are multiple options, of course, that are available on some trim packages that are not available on others, and I'll put the price range on the screen right now so you can see that as well. This, of course, being the Touring, it's going to have all of the bells and whistles. Some are standard across the board, like I said earlier. Some are not. This model comes with a sunroof, like that option. A very nicely laid out instrument cluster. I like the way that looks. It looks very modern and very stylish, easy to read. Steering wheel mounted controls. You do have a couple of different driving modes that you can use. You have Sport, of course you have just basic driving mode. You also have a snow mode. And one of the things, especially my friend David, people are going to like here, if you don't like the auto start stop, you can turn that off if you so wish to do so. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it means when you come to a complete stop, the engine shuts off in an attempt to save gas. And when you get ready to take off again and take your foot off the brake pedal and put it on the gas, the engine's going to start back up and you'll accelerate down the road. Tell me what you think about that, because I know a lot of people have mixed feelings and opinions about that start-stop feature. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me why. I'm interested to hear your opinion on that. Of course, you have a nice infotainment system here, just a load of settings you can go through. Depending on what trim level you can get Apple CarPlay and multiple features, settings that you can go through and set to your desire, depending on what your desires are. This particular model does have dual zone climate control, and you have a start-stop button, I should say, here just on the right-hand side of the steering wheel mounted controls, and controls to turn on or off all of the safety assist features that are standard on these Passports. My overall driving experience with the Passport was definitely good. During my test drive, while I had read information that said the Passport has a rough ride on bumpy roads, I discovered it not to be too terribly bad. Now, if you're stepping out of something that's really plush, such as a Cadillac of some sort, you may find that to be the case, but ultimately, you'll get used to it, and it's really not that bad. The real surprise for me was the fact that the acceleration was really impressive, and even though the 0 to 60 isn't super quick, I must say, when I pushed down on the gas pedal to see how it accelerated, I was in for a little bit of a surprise. The overall driving experience is about what you would expect for an SUV the size of the Passport, but ultimately, it's a very fun vehicle to drive. It's nimble, it's easy to get around, and it's really easy to park as well. If you're stepping into the Passport out of a smaller vehicle, no matter what that may be, it really won't take you long to get used to driving it before you find yourself saying this is a really enjoyable experience. And that will bring to a close my time with the 2020 Honda Passport. I'd like to thank Holmes Honda for loaning me this Passport for the day, and all of you for taking the time to watch. Please be sure to subscribe to Vehicle Visionary if you haven't done so already. Click that like button if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment and let me know that you were here, and make sure to share this video on your timelines on social media. I will see you next time, guys, on Vehicle Visionary.